Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la carte. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la carte. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got a fun little project for us. We're going to make some little summer dresses. They're also known as the pillowcase style dress. But this one, it has a little twist, and I was able to find a pattern. So I'm going to try to make a small one for a little baby that I know, and then I'll make others. But I got to kind of learn the pattern, right? So I thought a small project would work easiest first. All right, so I am going to start cutting out, pinning my material. I'm going to use this material. I just think it is a fun material. And then I'm going to use this as a contrasting. So I'm going to have the red and white here and here, and then this little piece will make this little band right here. That's the goal. And then I do have bias tape for this up here. So, all right, let's see what we can do with this. All right, so you always want to get your directions out and give them a look over before you actually start the project. And so I've read through everything. And so basically what I want to do is this will be for this teal color over here. So we'll put it over to the side. And you do want it to be on the bias. So whichever way that fabric, the grain is running on that fabric. And it'll tell you, like this one tells you these little darts. It says this should be on the fold. Right? So we'll end up cutting this off this large bolt and folding it, and then we have, and we're going to cut 2 of those, and then we're going to cut 2 of these, and this one needs to be on the fold right here, so that'll be the front and the back. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting a hunk of this off of this roll to get us started, and I probably am going to let it be this width right here. I think that's a good place to start. It'll be a real rough cut here at the beginning, but we'll get us started. All right. I actually want to go from the other side. Changed my mind again. I have that cut out on that side. I'll be mindful of where that picture goes away. And here's where it tells me to have it on the fold, so that's why I folded the fabric. I can scooch it back a little more. And what I want, actually, I'm going to do a little bitty one. On a pin, I'm going to fold it down. I'm getting that size. I'm at the size 1 to begin with. So I'm just finding that 1. It's right there. Okay. Now we're back to having it on that. So see how much? So now we can scooch that a little bit more. Need another one of those. Again, we want to fold it on that 1. There's the fold. just need to cut out this little band. And I think we're just about to the cutout part. Yeah, we've just about got it cut out. So this is just from Waverly. Nice little contrast. Okay, so this tells us on the fold. And we're going to cut that same little size. Alrighty, 2. There's that. There's the 2 pieces for the band. And cut 1 for the front and the back. Cut 2 on the fold, cut 2 on the fold, and cut 2 on the fold. So there we go. We've got our pieces. We'll get them on in. Alrighty, there's our pieces. It says that it's so easy, so we're about to find out. Let me get my machine out. Alright, so I'm going to pin all my pieces together. My pattern called for a dot to mark the armhole. There was no dot on my pattern, so I created my own. I went out and I googled armhole patterns for little girl dresses, so I came up with 3 different sizes. So we're going to use this one for this little tiny dress we're making, but I want to pin my pieces together so that when I take it to the sewing machine I can sew all these and then sew the sides up together. got our bobbin in, we've got our thread up top. So let's just pull it in. And we are just going to, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a generous seam allowance, because I think what I want to go back and do is take the Rick Rack scissors and cut a zigzag and then fold it and press it back like it suggests. So I'm thinking that's what I want to do. So with that said, I'm going to determine where my measurement is that I want to use so I can have a visual for sewing my seams. It could throw me off. And I might start with this one. Okay, I won't have anything underneath. I think I kind of like there, so let's see if that'll give me this, and then I'll cut that much. Let's move it over a little bit. No, let's leave it there. Alright, so we'll sink the needle. That means putting it in. I'll get my foot pedal over here going. Then what I want to do is I want to reinforce it. So I'm going to go back and forth like you've seen me do before. So go forward just a little bit. And I want to make sure that I'm lined up well. Our first panel. Okay, so the next one. So I'm going to get my pinking shears and I'm going to cut these edges. So again, we can have them right in the, have it not fray on us. Right, so I cut this way down. I called and got the sizes, dimensions of the little person I'm making this for, and so she was definitely smaller than a 1. So keep that in mind as you make yours. I still want to go ahead and cut little armholes. So I'm going to do something like this. And I'm just going to draw it on there. Because I'm going to cut it off. So it doesn't matter that I'm marking on here with a non-washable, because I'm just going to cut it off. So I think I'm going to put the hem in. So it'll be something very small hem. That way when I sew the sides up, I'm not trying to sew in a circle. Then I'll sew up the sides. And I need to sew a little hem around here. You could put the bias around it, so we'll look at that. We'll see what we're going to use. Like, are we going to use this? Because what we could do, this is so tiny, we could do this around the edge, which is kind of what I saw in one of the patterns that I looked at, right? So just basically do that, and that's going to encapsulate that raw edge. Just take it up and then you fold this down. So this is just bias tape. Now I threw it away. It's just double folded bias tape. So what that means, and this is even better because this kind of has that, right? It's not really in half. It's kind of much smaller. So this might be easier to get on there and to look good. Let's see what it looks like with the two. Let's see. We wanted 2 inches. I'm not real good at using this thing, but this would give me the line. So if we folded it. So we could do 1, 2, 3. So they give us the front and the back, and then the 2 collars, and then we'd have 2 for that, and we'd need a little bit to make the ties. All right, let's try doing this. Worst case scenario, we'll use this white for ties. Okay, whew, lots of planning. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my fabric. right, so there is our front and our back. So we're going to sew this little trim on. I am going to keep the same color thread. Let's see what it looks like. Worst case scenario, I rip it out. So what I'll do is I will, right now, I'm going to decide where do I want my seam to run. Alright, here's our second little trim. Kind of cute. Alright, so now, do I want to sew these edges? I think I'm going to go ahead and do this down. So we pin that. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and create this, or maybe I want to put this on. Oh, that would be lovely if that would just fit right there. Let's Alright, so there we have one half. And then of course it's going to gather with that ribbon that goes through it. Isn't that too cute? Alright, we're going to do the other two armholes and then we'll come back and do the top which means I'm going to fold it down, and then I'm going to give myself like a casing for that ribbon to go through. Okay. All right, it took me a minute to figure out how I was going to do these little ties. So now I'm trying to create these little ties right here. And all they do is thread through here and then tie up on the little shoulder. But I wanted to use this contrasting color as opposed to pulling another color in there. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 of these, and I'm going to make something special with this little one. But we have 3 of these, so and this, so give me this total length, pretty long length to go through, because all this is going to gather, right? Because this is for a little one, Right, so you really are going to probably only have something like that here and there, and then you'll have plenty of room to tie. Oh, we ran out. Right there. Okay. So, didn't quite make it. Almost. Alright, so now we're going to thread our bobbin and get a new bobbin going. So you stick it through this little hole up here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a hole, and then we're just going to load the thread. See that little tiny string hanging out there? I do cut it off. Doesn't usually cause an issue, but as soon as I don't cut it off, it'll be an issue. So this has arrows. So most machines have arrows that tell you the way your thread should go. All this. Oh, I just unthreaded it. Crying out loud. There it is. On the steel. So it tells me I want to drop it in, and I want it to go behind this little silver piece right here that it tells me, and I want it to come out and over there, and that matches the picture that's imprinted. And then I try to let it go that way because I'm going to try to catch. It's easier if you have the plate on there, but I'm trying to help you be able to see that. So see how that pulls it right there, pulls that thread from the bottom to the top, and that's what will create the bottom of your stitch. Our dress. Here are our ties. All right, here's the big test. Let's see if it's gonna do it. sure hope so. Just thread it through. Just got to kind of get it started. You get it past this little piece right here, it'll get easier. And there's our little dress. How about that? Isn't that adorable? Well, there's our little dress all done. Nice little experiment. I was able to take that little tube of fabric there. I made it into that little tiny flower, so I did change it a little bit. But there it is. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting!